Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and as some of you know, I do this from time to time, but I'm going to reply to just about every comment on this video, even if it's something like, hey Tim, what's your favorite color? Now today, Google announced a bevy of various hardware devices, so that it looks like they're starting to build an entire ecosystem around their brand through hardware and software. Now, some of these devices included 2 new phones, a new smart home device, some new Wi-Fi devices to actually supplement the OnHub that they created earlier, and then also a VR headset and even new Chromecasts as well. In this video, I'll specifically be talking about the Google Pixel and Pixel XL, the 2 new phones that they have announced. I also talked about the other devices on my Twitter account. I'll link to that below if you want to go check some of that out. Now, first I want to talk about the differences between the Google Pixel and Pixel XL because there are differences. First of all, price. The Pixel is going to start the base model $650 and then $770 for the Pixel XL. Now, there's a size difference between the two. The Pixel has a 5-inch 1080p display, whereas the Pixel XL has a 5.5-inch 1440p display. So the display is going to be a little bit better and also larger on the XL. Now, battery size is also different between the two devices. On the Pixel, it has a 2,770 milliamp hour battery, whereas the Pixel XL has a 3,450 milliamp hour battery. So the Pixel XL will actually have a little bit better battery life. Now, I will be posting pictures up next to me throughout the video, and Google actually went with a very goofy sounding color scheme. They went with a very silver, a quite black, and a really blue. Now, that blue option is actually a very limited edition as well. If you're looking to pre-order it, I will post all links below. With that being said, kind of a goofy naming scheme. It is what it is. Now, I do have a couple notes in front of me, but something I do want to mention is that both of these devices will launch with Android 7.1 Nougat, which has not actually came out yet, so they didn't really go into insane depth on what that's actually going to include. I will keep you guys updated as more and more comes. Now, with that being said, something that I believe is going to come with this update that they actually talked about at the event is actually when you get in updates. When a new software update's available on your device, what's going to happen is it's going to download and install all in the background, and then once you restart the device, it's going to activate the new version. So very similar to what you're familiar with desktop OSs. Maybe Windows OS does something very similar. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to go ahead and go to the download page. Once it downloads, then you go and watch it install. It's going to do it all into the background. Now, aside from those differences that I mentioned earlier in the hardware, there's also a lot of similarities in terms of hardware to the two devices. So let's go ahead and get started on that. First of all, the base model of both devices is 32 gigs of internal storage, and then it jumps all the way up to 128 gigs of internal storage. So those are your only two options that you have when you purchase the device. Now, also other internals in terms of specs, processor-wise, it has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 821 processor, which actually is not on any device right now, and it has 4 gigabytes of RAM. So essentially with those two, pretty top end. You might have expected 6 gigs of RAM, but at the moment, 4 gigs does the job. Now, when it came to the camera on both devices, Google has announced, and I quote, the best smartphone camera anyone has ever made on the Pixel and Pixel XL. They both have the same camera. So going to be very interesting trying this out, competing with the iPhone 7 Plus, the Note 7, and other various devices as well, the V20. There's a lot of high-end cameras out there right now, and Google claims they have made the best. So we'll go ahead and test that out in the future. Anyways, it has a 12.3 megapixel camera with an f2.0 aperture and also 1.55 UM pixels as well. Couple other notable things. It's a aluminum unibody design with a rear fingerprint scanner on the back. Also a single bottom firing speaker, though a lot of you asked me about that. Only a single bottom firing speaker along with a Type-C slot down at the bottom. And also, I can't believe I have to mention this, a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack is on the device as well. And finally, the Pixel is going to be the first phone with Google Assistant actually integrated within the software on the device. I'm guessing Android 7.1 Nougat is going to have this integrated. However, what's going to happen is when you long press your home button, it's going to activate that Google Assistant. And I believe it's going to be more of a voice search Google Assistant where you press and hold it and your assistant can help you out with various things. If you want to listen to music, set up a timer, any various thing that you can do by pressing and holding it. Now, they didn't necessarily get rid of Google Now on Tap with all the contextual search results with what is on your screen. When you actually press and hold that home button and swipe up, it's going to activate those contextual search results and go ahead and use Google Assistant to analyze those as well. Now they've also added a 24/7 live customer support option within the Pixel phones. It's either going to be phone, chat, and they're also going to have a screen share option so the person you're talking to can kind of see what you're looking at. So if you need help with your Pixel phones, which might be helpful to actually help people learn about the new OS if they need help with it in the near future, that might be an interesting option. So now when it comes down to it, I have pre-ordered both of them, so you will see coverage from me right away as soon as I get the devices, so stay tuned for that. Click that subscribe button. With that being said, I kind of feel like the price point was a little higher than I would have liked. $650 for a base model, still a 1080p display is still a little bit up there, and then of course jumping all the way up to $770 for the higher end model at the base 32 gigabytes is still pretty high. So curious to hear your thoughts as well. Like I said, I'll be responding to most comments as well. So go ahead and drop a comment what you think about the two devices. Overall, I like the look. It has a big chin down at the bottom, which is okay. I really wish it was just less. Plain and simple. Other than that chin, I think it's a very good looking device. I like the accents on the back, and just overall the color options look good as well. So you will see on my channel all three colors as well. So stay tuned for that. So anyways, that's it. That would be the Pixel XL, the differences, what you can expect, and also just kind of my initial thoughts after watching that entire Google event. And of course, there's other devices that they announced as well. So drop a comment, let me know what you think. Click that thumbs up as well. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.